Hello fellow programmers, this is Pavel and this is part 4 of our Knights Tour program. And let's start. We started with some methods. We started to code some methods. I'm gonna continue with that. The next one I'm gonna do is the display grid. Now I want to display a row of letters, let's say A, B, C, D, E, F. I need 8 of them because that's the 8 by 8 grid. And I want to write down also the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. If it's an 8 by 8 grid, it doesn't have to be 8 by 8. Remember, we are using constants that can be changed. So first I will do just a console.write a little space, just so I don't start right in the corner of the screen. And I will do for integer I equals 65 and I will explain I is less than the row plus 65 and I plus plus. And I'm going to write console.write convert to character I. So this is the ASCII thing. The capital letter capital letter A starts with or has a assigned value of 65 in the ASCII table. So when we convert 65 to character, we get an A, and if we convert A to an integer, we get 65. So that's why I'm starting with 65. Now row plus 65 simply means, like I said, we don't know how many rows there are. If there are 8, then it's simply gonna be 65 plus 8. But what if I want only, let's say, 3 rows? I want in this case it's actually columns. So what if I want A, B, and C? So it's gonna be, row will be 3, A, B, and C. So we have 3 plus 65 equals 68. So, and 68 happens to be C, the letter C. So this way we have the more flexibility than hard coding again. Like I said before, we don't hard code the rows and columns. This way we can change the grid on the fly. So and this one, so this particular code, this portion of the code displays A, B, C, D, E, F, and whatever, how many columns we have. And now we can display the rows. Console.writeLine, and just so we move down, and for integer, I'll just call it R for rows, equals 0, R is less than row, and R plus plus. Now this all assumes that the grid will be actually a square. Like this could be actually columns, and it actually probably should be columns than rows in case it is not a square. But you know, the board should be a square, but well, we have the flexibility to not have it a square either. So let's do this rows. So I'm gonna do console.write, not write line, just write, because we are writing sequentially in one row. And I'm gonna write the R plus 1 because we are starting from 0. R is 0. So this will basically display the whole thing will display something like this. The first space is moved like this, and it's gonna be A, B, C, D, E, and so forth. And down here it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So this is the grid, and over here it's gonna be X's or the pound signs for the grids themselves, whether it's the grid that is empty or grid that is populated with X. So that's the I'm right here. So plus 1, and in it we will do, or right after that, this is just displaying basically the header, and over here we will do the loop that displays the actual grid. So, and that's why it's only right, because we're writing again in one line. We'll write the header, and right next to it we'll write the actual grid. So C equals 0, C is less than columns, C++, and over here we will simply write console.write, and we are doing the moves. That's the array from moves of R and C, whatever symbol, whether it's the grid or the move symbol, is currently being captured in these coordinates R and C, we will display it. And after this loop we of course have to move to the next row, so we will do right line, just empty right line, to move kind of down one row. And let me just quickly show you what this does, but before I will just return true or whatever, just to make it compile, since these are supposed to return true or false. And over here I will simply call the display grid. So display grid, and I will do console.read key to pause the screen so we can actually see the grid if I run it as from our start over here. So let's see what this is going to do. And over here you have the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. No, we don't have the grid itself because we didn't populate it yet. In fact, let's do the populate grid before we do display it. Populate grid, and it's showing me an error. I don't know if I misspelled it or what. Oh, it's populate array. Populate. Sorry, populate array. So if I run it now, here's my A, B, C, D, F, G, H, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and you can hear the brand new grid. And if we change, let's say, to 4 and by 4 grid, it should scale down, and we have A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the grid itself. So that is working quite nicely. So all right, so next one, well, I think it's time to finally start coding some actual logic. So in the next video we will do just that, so stick around and I'll see you then. Take care.